Hi everybody. So this is a continuation of Ted and I putting on the rear deck onto the tail cone. As I mentioned in the last video, while you can get most of these with the squeezer, which is very nice, there are a bunch of these that you do need to have. Oh wait, actually, here's something that's funny. Those are the ones I actually have to take out because I had forgotten about doing the dimpling. I thought I'd already done that, but I didn't. Ridiculous. So, plate comes off. And you know what? It wasn't actually the rear deck that I'd forgotten to dimple. It was actually the top of the third to rear bulkhead. So the third to rear bulkhead has number 40 holes that you need to have dimpled. Always check your plans. Thankfully, I hadn't put in all of the rivets yet, and then had noticed how much I'd screwed up. Thankfully. Dumb ass. So I drilled them all. I drilled all three out pretty well. Actually, two of them were really, really good. One wasn't quite as nice as I'd like, so I used a half size up or a full size up of rivet so that it had a little bit of extra material to kind of cozy in, and I squeezed it real slow too. And once again, I just stand and get in the way of everybody. Right, so I kind of let Ted just take the reins and the rivet squeezer and go to town, and he was very happy. So yeah, it's a pretty simple process. Like I said, the only thing you really have to worry about is just making sure that you're putting the correct rivets in the right holes, which the instructions have laid out pretty easily. So no real surprises. Meanwhile, here it is. It's the first weekend in April, and oh, it is just some absolutely shit weather out there. We got rain all day, breezy winds from the west. We got the what is it? What do they call it? The Pineapple Express storm system is here. This low pressure system to the north is basically funneling all of Hawaii's moisture straight into the bay, which is fine. We do need some more rain. You know, we had a very bad drought for years, and then had two of the wettest winters in known history, and pretty much cured a 4-year drought in about 5 weeks of rain. So, but this is California; it's hit or miss, you know. Climate change. I'm not even getting into it. Okay, I'll get into it just a little bit. Climate change. Are humans causing it? Partially, yes. Is there anything we can do about it? Reduce the population of the world to about 1 billion. Oh, that sounds radical. That's all it is. It's just the amount of people. You know, you want to live in a nice agrarian society where we all farm our own vegetables and no one uses cars. All right, well, you know, welcome to the 1840s. Nah, that's kind of being, let's say 1840s. Welcome back to the 1840s, where the only people that'll be allowed to have high-speed transport will be food, because we will have to be making food all over the place. You will have so much more of it spoil before it gets to you. So you're going to have to produce more. Now this is if you want to maintain the current population and still be quote unquote carbon neutral. Of course, we will be burning the shit out of every tree around because we don't use fuel anymore. Anyway, so check this out. Look at that. The vertical stabilizer is on. Well, temporarily. So you put the vertical stabilizer on, you clamp it in place so that you can final drill the number 12 holes for the A-N bolts, which will come later. I've been debating whether or not I'm even going to test fit. Well, obviously, I just test fit the vertical stabilizer, and it fit just fine. If I'm going to put the horizontal stabilizer and vertical stabilizer on at the same time, I feel like if I do, I'm not going to want to take them off, but then storing them will be the world's largest pain in the ass. So I don't know. The more I work on this damn thing, the more pieces just start to pile up. So Ted and I, so we've finished up that rear deck, and it's all very happy. Now we're test fitting on the top skins, which is technically next. And fiddling around with some wires. So there is one thing I do have to do. So there's a D sub pin that's supposed to fit through a hole in the back of the back deck, which is very convenient, Vans. Thank you, I appreciate that. You do have to file it just a little bit because you don't want to file because the pin is hard to hit. Oh yeah. So here's where I just left my camera running, and I left it all night. And it actually recorded all night because when there's no light and barely any sound, the amount of video space that it takes up is actually minimal. So I had this thing hooked into my charging brick, and I came in the next morning and it was completely filled with just nighttime, which is very cute. Anyway, in the next video we will be continuing with now the top skins. So see you soon.